Hey
Hi,
guys.
everybody. Hiya, welcome back to another episode of the Manna House Podcast. I'm Tino, and I'm joined by,
Natalie.
and today we have a super, super special guest. I think this is someone who we've both been listening to for the longest time. We are joined
Yeah.
by Doe.
Hi, everybody.
Um, Doe, thank you so much for joining, first of all. But I'm gonna kind of give you this time to just give us a brief introduction into who Doe is.
Well, Doe is a mom, a wife, a sister, and an artist. And I tell people I sing gospel music because that is the lane that we pushed my music through. But you might hear a little bit of CCM and worship on the album as well, and maybe some like neo soul vibes. And then in a concert, we do, even if it feels super neo soul, we gonna end up in a worship moment. It always ends up there because I like to keep my heart open to what God has to say to each congregation and each room that I'm in. And I think he has a specific message every time. So I try to keep my heart open. And so we always end up in a worship moment, even if it started out R&B. You know what I'm saying? So that's who I am.
I love
Amazing.
that all roads lead back to worship.
Come on.
Buzz.
Yeah. Or this is what the kids are doing these days.
Yeah.
Or is it this?
I don't know if I can join in on that one.
Yeah.
But
Past those
I
days.
need to leave it alone. I need to leave it alone.
Am I right in saying you were in Forever Jones?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I was, am, whatever. Yep. That's my family band.
We love that. We absolutely love. So when we had you scheduled to come in, I was thinking, when did I first hear of Doe? So I moved to the UK in 2010, 2011-ish, from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And the gospel music I used to listen to back home is like Southern African a cappella and Southern gospel and Gaither. That was the extent of my
Nice.
gospel music.
Yeah.
And then I moved to this new country, and like the music that other people my age would listen to was completely different. And I had a cousin, he had moved the year before, and he was like, I know you like music and I know you relate to people through music. So this is what you should listen to.
Was it He Wants It All?
And it was Forever
Wow.
Jones. That was
Jeez.
one of the first things that I was given. And when I tell you, it made sense because He Wants It All went triple platinum in my church. Like everyone
Oh.
was absolute. And you know, when you first hear a song, you're like, where this is an amazing song, but I hadn't had anyone just introduce it to me because everyone was just like, you should just know this.
Yeah, like
It's Forever Jones, you know? You should just... I'm curious, what was it like being in a band with your family?
You know, me and my brother were talking about this because somebody asked him this question the other day at the end of he came to the last night of my tour, and someone asked him, what was it like being in a family band? And he was like, normal. He said it was normal. And I realized that, yeah, it was just our norm. It wasn't like we never did it like begrudgingly. We never like hated doing it. It was interesting because we were a very musical family anyway, as individuals. We were musical, and so it was fun. Early morning radio interviews, we were there, but those were hard. The early flights were hard, but when we hit the stage, we had a lot of fun together. I mean, there was a lot of nerves and stuff, but and my dad made sure we were good musicians. If we were going to be playing, we needed to be good, at least at playing our music. We was going to know how to play our music really well.
Yeah.
And but he wasn't like a Joe Jackson at all. I mean, he always made the jokes.
That's so funny.
Because people always wanted to know if that's what it was like, and it just wasn't. It wasn't that way. But yeah, so it was normal. It was our everyday.
And you mentioned kind of having the musical family. Your parents were also, I'm guessing they also had their own kind of musical journeys before they had the family and
Yes.
decided. So then what was that process then like of seeing their musicality and their networks and you being like, oh, we're part of this? Yeah. What's that relationship like with your parents, especially now that you're a parent yourself?
So, my parents, they was involved in some things, mainly like songwriting. So my dad wrote, "If you can use anything, Lord, you could use me." He wrote the song.
way.
Yeah, he wrote the song, which a lot of people don't know this one, but Mighty God. I don't know if you guys ever sang, "You are a mighty God. You're a mighty God." Yeah, so you don't know that, so I probably shouldn't even brought that one up. But
No, just
No,
you're
now
giving
we're
us,
gonna sing it.
yeah, you're giving us more music to
Oh,
go
yeah,
listen
yeah,
to. So thank you.
yeah. Yeah. Did y'all ever sing, "We declare your glory in this place, oh Lord, we declare"? Are you lying?
No, I've heard it,
You
but we
heard that one?
never sang it.
Okay.
I'm Southern Gospel and a cappella from Southern Africa. So
Southern gospel.
you're
Totally.
introducing me to new things right
So
now.
you're like, because he lives. That you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Then you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know none of these.
No.
If you can use anything, Lord, my dad loves that song. Like,
Yeah.
my dad used to sing that song to me. So like,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm like,
I love that. Yeah.
"Mm."
Yeah. So Dad wrote that song, and so we would go places and hear their music sometimes, and then Mom and Dad traveled for years, just the two of them, and Dad would just be on the piano and Mom would be singing. And they would sing together, and it was so beautiful. Um, every time they would hit the first note, to watch people be ministered to by their gift. They would sing over people. They would prophesy to people using their gift of music. And so we just grew up watching that. Both sides of my family are musical. My dad's brothers and sisters had a group called the Jones Family, and they have an album out. And so my dad always thought the Lord told him one day you're going to travel around the world with your family. He thought that was his siblings. My mother was diagnosed with a severe disease and told she'd never have kids. And then God healed her body, and she had 5 natural children. And that was the family that God used to travel around the world. And so it's just a really beautiful connection and story when you think about how God connected those dots. And so anyway, nowadays, my parents are pastoring at a church and in Dallas, and I'm trying to bribe them to leave and move here because I have another baby on the way, and my brother just had his first baby, and they're not the executive pastor, so like
you make some good points.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need you here. There's a
Yeah.
ministry here that has
Think of the
space for you.
grandbabies.
Think of the grandbabies. Yeah.
And we might have a Jones group part 3,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
3
Let me
different
tell you something.
generations.
Let me tell you something. Music is hard. My kids gonna be accountants and doctors.
You're like, well, Jenny,
I need them to make money.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy because you married a musician as well. So
I know. And you know what's so funny is both of us did not want to marry an artist. We were both like, I'm never going to marry an artist.
and look at God.
And here we are.
God was like,
You be
guys,
doing things without my
we're starting
permission.
something.
Yeah.
I feel you. Me too. Me too.
She was like, I don't want to marry an artist, and here we are. Look at that.
There you are.
And then he was
I'm
like,
not
let's
sure how
build a
that
studio in
happened.
our house,
Exactly. Right. And you blinked, and here you are in the studio with a piano behind you,
it's-
girl.
Okay, literally.
Priorities, guys.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Clearly.
Right. Right. The next thing I'm going to tell God is, God, I don't want to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want.
Let's just speak it, Because
Right.
God's laughing at us like, yeah, you're getting what you don't want.
Right.
I will say thank you so much for your songwriting because
Yeah.
He Wants It All. Oh my days. Like, not exaggerating. It was the go-to song for every teenager not even just in my church, just
Yeah.
any church you go to, it's like when a teen stands up and is about to sing, it's He Wants It All.
It was,
Always.
yeah, He Wants It All or Tomorrow by the Winans.
Yeah, that one.
Guarantee.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I give my life. Oh, that's
Yeah.
the
Top notch.
song.
Those songs, I'm
Ooh.
like, you'd go to like a concert or something and there was someone who was always singing that.
Yeah.
But my question is, we have, Forever Jones, you release your album, you nominated for Dove Awards, Grammys there. And then fast forward a couple of years, you have DOE, who's now also Grammy nominated. What happens in those
Like,
years?
how did you get to the solo?
Yeah. What's the transition into a solo artist?
In 2018, that's when I actively stepped out to just do what's in my heart and really like chase the dream and the desires of my heart. And I just feel like God created the perfect storm around my yes. I mean, and this is not to say that it wasn't like hard work and still is hard, beautiful work. But like the day that I moved to Dallas, I was telling everybody, I'm going to move to Dallas and I'm going to do what's in my heart, right? I'm driving to Dallas with all of my stuff packed in my car, and I get a phone call from a huge TV show saying, hey, we want to fly you to LA so that you can audition to be on our TV show. And so, I flew to LA. It was a free trip and a free hotel stay. So I fly to LA and I go there and audition. And, it was just like cool because they picked me out of a huge group of people. And I didn't even make the show. But I tell this story because I feel like it was like a sign from God saying, I'm just going to open doors for you and you've got to trust me. It wasn't even like sad that I didn't get it because things like that just started happening. And it was all about me praying about them and asking God, okay, when is it time to move? Which opportunity do I take? Like me making the decision to step out and go solo was hard and scary. And there was an obligation that I felt to my family that they didn't put on me. I felt like I can't leave them. But, I had to break up with fear. I had a fear of missing God's will, all of the things. And I just had to decide, like, I don't think I want to do anything with fear anymore. Like, not even an ounce of it. I want to find a way to be able to make healthy grown-up decisions in my life and not be afraid that I'm going to ruin my life and never get it back. But have confidence in the fact that I love Jesus. I'm in right standing with God, and He's going to guide me and kind of coax me along the way and give me the answers that I need and help me get back to a good place when I make a mistake. He's really good at that, and I have to trust Him even with my mistakes, my future mistakes. And so that was kind of the whole picture of me stepping out on my own. And then I received offers from Integrity Capital and Sony. The one with Sony came through Jonathan because he was building his label. I was the first sign of his label. And I had to just pray, God, which one do I go to? And I felt like God really gave me wisdom because when I look at it as a business decision, Jonathan, I was going to be their first sign, and Jonathan's team came with his management that I did not have to sign to be signed to his label. So I was going to inherit Jonathan's management and have his team backing me because I was their first sign and they had a lot to prove to the music industry.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I signed with them, I was going to get management and the big machine of Sony. And so when I went with that, I still feel like to this day that was a really good decision that I made. And I'm thankful and thankful, to Jonathan for just reaching out. And he had always said, he said, whichever one of us gets big first, we're going to help the other out. And he kept his word on that to open a door and, get me into, bring me alongside.
Oh, that's
and I thought that
amazing.
was great.
That's
the
amazing.
Christian community, like
Yeah.
supporting each other. And I think we've spoken a lot
Yes.
about that on different podcasts, like how
Yeah.
beautiful it is, because it really kind of feels like you've got a family all over, because the music is not about us, it's about God.
Yeah.
Anything to
Yeah.
push the gospel.
Yeah.
I think that is a good segue.
Yeah, that's a good segue into
The question.
my question. So I
Context.
Wait a minute.
yeah.
How long y'all been married? Because she looked at you and you knew what she was thinking.
3 years
3
this
years.
month.
Yeah.
Nice.
It
Okay,
was-
so
we
me and
literally just
Lando
had
will
a-
tap into that next.
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting there. So you mentioned working with Jonathan. So again, Hey You is the song
Yes.
with you and Jonathan McReynolds.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I like it specifically is because it feels like it's talking about a topic that usually Christian artists are just like, we kind of skip it a little bit, or we push it to the side and we're like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just going to go straight to God about my relationships. Whereas for me, it felt like it was like let's have that difficult conversation
Yeah.
about this relationship. And Jonathan says a line in there, which is, I'm not lying, I just can't find the truth.
Yeah.
And that is the most poetically toxic thing I felt like I had heard
Very true.
anyone say. And I was like, what was that writing session like of someone going, no, I'm not lying, I just can't find the truth right now. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. You know, so I'll tell you about the writing session and then I'll tell you the story behind this song.
Yes,
Yeah, no
please.
problem.
In the write, I needed a second verse and didn't have one. So in the studio, we knew we wanted to record that song because it was a good one. And it was just me and a bunch of guys. And that song was about a guy. So Jonathan was in there, Lil Man was in there, I think Kinsey, and both of my brothers. And I was like, hey guys, I need a second verse that explains how a male is feeling in this situation, because I still don't have answers. And I just took advantage of that. And Jonathan actually wrote that line. I'm not lying, I just can't find the truth. I wonder why he was able to snatch that up. No, I'm just
do you know what?
Been asking
Do you know what? Yeah, the reason I was like, this sounds like a before Christ version of me would have pulled out that line of, "Girl, I'm not lying. I just can't find the truth." You know?
Right? Yeah. Seems like I'm playing games. Honestly, I can't. What is it? Seems like I'm playing games, but honestly, I'm so afraid.
Yeah.
And there's the truth, which is so funny. You scared me of truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote that song. Maybe I wrote it in 2018, 19. I was living in Dallas. I was in my 20s. Yeah, I was in my 20s and maybe I was 30. But anyway, I had this long on again, off again situationship with this guy that everybody wanted me, thought we were going to be together. You know, everybody was always trying to push the narrative. But what's crazy is, and I say on again, off again, I don't even know if I can call it that, because we never communicated any feelings. It was just like, I'm talking to this person about it. Everybody sees it. He's talking to this person. Maybe he'd talk to my brother. My brother would say some things to me. You know how people just be. And I mean, so when I turned 30, this thing clicked in my brain. And I think 30s are great because you really do come into a place of adulthood where you're like, what am I doing? I can use words. I can use my words.
They exist.
They exist. And I think we're scared of confrontation. So, and this was a dear, dear friend who I'm still dear, dear friends with. And I believe that this saved it. Was deciding that I was just done with the back and forth and I was just going to communicate. So I wrote him a letter in a song. And I left the second verse open and I said, write me back. So that's how Hey You came to be. And that's why there wasn't no second verse, because he didn't have nothing to say.
He
He
couldn't
couldn't
find the truth.
He couldn't find the truth. He couldn't find the truth. And
Oh.
now that I'm older, I think I overdid it. I think it was just like years of not saying anything, and then I'm gonna say everything, and I need you to write me back. I done found my freedom, and so and we talked about it. He's just like, and basically now that I think about that line, I'm not lying. I just can't find the truth. That was his response. Like, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah.
And so anyway, it was really beautiful because when I sing that song, I get to go off onto this spiel of like, it's spontaneous singing, but I start talking to the church about poor communication and how we should be the best at using language, but we're the worst at it, and how eloquent we are in speaking in tongues, but we're mean in English. And so it's just this whole thing where I'm able to use, because it's so funny how much time single people who love Jesus spend talking to God about, send me a mate, oh God, or I'm praying about this guy and I really like him, da, 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 da. But we don't reflect it in our art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that that's a really important song. And I love that you guys are asking me about it. And I think the tea is just, all of it's so juicy and it pulls people in, but it's a very powerful message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, we talk a lot about how sometimes, and one of the reasons we started this podcast is you listen to music, and sometimes with Christian music, it can feel like we're avoiding certain topics, or we're inspired by a situation, but we don't talk about the situation. We talk about how God is so good and God got me through. And I'm like, okay, but what did he get you through?
Yeah,
Exactly. God got you through
What
what?
is the struggle?
Yeah, I'm like,
Help me out here. I'm drowning.
I was just fighting some demons. What would they do? What happened? I want to know a bit more, and I feel like
Yes.
when you then hear the story behind it, so like an example, Kirk Franklin has the Father's Day album, but before that he released this documentary where he talks about a whole search for his father. And when I then listened to the album, it meant so much more because it was more than just, God, you're my father. It was like, I understand why this has happened.
Yeah.
So when you then hear a song like Hey You, and I'm like, this is so honest and this is so raw.
Yeah.
It's addressing something that not a lot of people will speak about. So yeah, thank you so much for writing that and having it on the album.
Yeah.
Of course.
And for explaining
Thank you
it.
guys. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
On that same album, so this is Clarity, which came out in 2022. There's another song on there, which Natalie has some questions about.
Yeah. So when I pray,
Yeah.
as the kids say,
Yeah.
just beautiful song.
Aw,
and I'm not alone
thank
in
you.
that. I think this is your most streamed one, I believe. So yeah, can you talk us through what was happening in life and like what inspired this song? Because again, it feels like an honest song.
Yeah. I woke up from a dream about a family member, and it was not a good one. And I took a flight to go see that family member and stay with that family member. And I just was like, okay, I'm not going to try to push my heart's desire on them. I'm just going to be around them and be fasting and praying for them, and just leaning into God around them very intensely. And while I was with them, we did a write. We just decided to write together because I was writing for my album. And they put on a piano loop, and that song just dropped on us in like, I don't know, had to be like an hour. It just was like there. And then Thanksgiving came around, and I pulled everybody upstairs to record the BGVs. So, and that was supposed to be just demo, but it ended up being they just kept it, because sometimes the emotions are perfectly in the track. And so that's where that song came from. Yeah, my brothers were a very, very important part of writing and producing on that song, and they did a great job. And I've gotten very little flack about that song. I've gotten some, I've had like an artist pull me aside because they didn't like me saying the word. I don't know how you guys feel, so I won't say it here.
I think I might know the word.
But yeah,
I'm happy with it. It
you're cool.
conveys that, like I
Yeah,
said, the,
they didn't like me saying hell if I know. And
Mm.
I I in a Christian song, I get it if I was doing it to be like cool or edgy. Um, but on the other side, there's that scripture in Philippians 3:7-11. Um, Therefore I count everything that I've gained as a loss when compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Jesus Christ. Furthermore, I count it as rubbish. And they translated that more in a more palatable way than he really said it. When he says rubbish, he says something that equates to what we would use as a curse word for a pile of poo today, because he wanted them to understand just how low he was counting his accomplishments in comparison to the surpassing greatness of knowing Jesus Christ. And so within that context, it was so necessary for me to say, hell if I know, because I needed people to understand that, no, God needed people to understand that he was going to hear someone's prayer that sounded like that and may have curse words in it because they weren't churched. Before he would hear someone that had no curse words in their prayer and maybe a little bit of scripture, but their heart was prideful in approaching God.
Mm.
They did not have a broken or contrite and repentant spirit. And so I needed people to understand that. And so I don't know, I probably have had 5 people say something to me about it. And every time I say that, I say this to them. But I've had numerous people who felt so affirmed in their prayers and felt so encouraged to approach God and finally felt like, yes, I can come near to him. And that's the thing. When you really are broken and crushed, your prayers are not pretty.
Mm.
Your cries out to God are not patched up and beautiful. And you understand what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
broken. It's lowly. Sometimes it's misunderstood. I think about Hannah, who went in the temple and the priest thought she was drunk because of how she was crying out to God. You understand what I'm saying? So it's offensive to church, to people, to hear someone actually cry out to God from a broken place, a humble place. And I was okay with that. And so and what's really funny is that is the more PG version of the song, because I just like to throw up and then we fix it so that it's palatable for, whatever environment it's going to be sung in. But another thing is, I never say hell if I know in the church. I probably sung it one time because a pastor came up to me and was like, man, can you please say hell if I know? I said,
With
okay,
that
Pastor.
accent as well.
Yeah, I know. I said, Pastor, I'm going to sing it I'm going to say it this Sunday.
I love
Because
that.
I don't want to offend and distract people from God, but that
Yeah.
song is doing what it's supposed to do.
I really love the idea of that raw emotion coming through. You mentioned that you had this piano loop and you had the writing session, and then Thanksgiving came and you recorded it. I want to know what's your process. So like, I'm always asking, like, are you like pen and paper, Google Doc, notes? How does Doe do it?
Yeah, I'm everything. And now that I've had a baby, I'm like, I can say this. It's just like having a baby. Everybody's like, oh, we got our plan. This is how it's going to go. I don't know if y'all have kids, but we got a plan. Like when I go into labor, we're going to wait for an hour and then we're going to head to the such and such. I'm doing my makeup. And then the baby comes on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't even make it to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And I like to make room for a song to come and be birthed, however it's going to be birthed. So I have done it all. I've written a song in a car on my way to church because it was dropping on me, and I was like, I gotta make room for this right now. I wrote a song about my science book one time when I found it, and I was like, well, it's a love song, and I turned it into a love song. Who
Please
would have
release that
thought we'd ever find each other? Yeah, because I was about to have to pay for that.
It's iconic.
Yeah, girl. And I think that's what you have to do. And also, I think, probably also like read the people in the room. Some people are more structured and they have to write a certain way. And because I like to write every which way I can fit into any situation. I want to say something though. I have to say this because I think it's very important. I want to challenge everyone who's listening. If you're a songwriter, every now and then, I want you to take a pen or a pencil and write. Write the words. Let's see. How did I say it? To trace the words with your hand that your soul is trying to communicate. I think there's something scientific and beautiful about you tracing the letters that your heart is saying. And there's a deep connectivity. There's something that happens between your brain and you communicating it when you write the words down. And I don't think that's something that we need to completely erase. One time I said that in a session and got made fun of, but I just think it's really important. I know it's hard to do in group settings because you need a Google Doc, but I don't think we need to give up writing, as a whole.
We'll definitely, you know what, we're going to clip this. We're going to put it, this is now the Doe Jones Songwriting Challenge. Make sure you have pen and paper. And
there you go.
And we'll make it a thing.
Yeah. Let me know when you do it.
You'll do. Alongside the pen, paper, that kind of stuff, recording wise, how do you record things? So is it like home studio? Do you go to a studio elsewhere? Yeah. What's that process like?
Yeah, that's another everywhere thing. I mean, like in next month, I'm going to record some things for another part of my label for the church, because the next album I'm doing is worship. And so we're going to re-record some of those songs more simplified, and I'll be in a studio that they're renting out, and it'll be kind of a live thing that they'll capture. Sometimes I'll record things, with my husband. He's got a nice little setup over in the living room. I don't record final vocals on my own because I'm not good at that. I'll rent a studio. I don't know. I mean, the label will rent one. But if I want to do it and it's like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'll either go to my brother's house because he's really great at engineering, or I'll ask my husband to help me record a vocal.
That's pretty cool.
You're surrounded by options. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Nashville, you guys. So like you could find something here for cheap, and it's just what you need.
You know what? I feel like we've had a string of interviews.
Yeah.
And it feels like the entire Christian music industry is just in Nashville. I'm like, do you guys live in the same house or like what? What's happening? Because we literally we interviewed Ryan Shirley, Caleb Meekham. We interviewed the Spradley family. Like everyone's just like, yeah, we moved to Nashville. We're in Nashville. So yeah.
So you might have to visit, record some stuff.
Yeah, the city is like built for creatives, and even like tax write-offs. The state, they really understand what we need to be successful. So there's a lot here, especially if you're starting out. Now it's starting to get expensive, but you can live outside of Nashville like I do and just drive to wherever you need to be. Come on, guys.
you know,
don't encourage him. He will.
You know what?
He'll be like, we're leaving. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've moved country once before.
Really?
I'm not afraid.
Where are you guys?
Yeah. So we're in the UK. We're in Doncaster. In the north of England.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So.
But we're committed to the studio ministry, so we can't go now.
Yeah, we can't go right now.
Look at her. Yeah. Look at her telling you now. Don't you get no ideas?
Yeah. That's what that look was.
I know.
I was going to set up the Manna House Nashville branch, but anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, we
love it.
Gotta catch the vision. Anyways.
Perfect. Okay.
Um,
Another song that I wanted to ask about was Holy
Okay.
Hands.
Yeah.
I think we were looking at the credits and like who was on the song, and there's a list.
Yeah.
I was like,
Probably
wow,
about
okay,
15 people.
yeah. So what's the story behind that song?
They were not in the room when we were writing the song, the lyrics and the melody, but the producer, his name is Slick, and he will send tracks, pre-produced tracks, and that's like, I don't generally write like that. But sometimes I'll write to a fully produced track. And he'll build it out around the changes that we make. And so all of those other writers are like, that's how they do it in like R&B or hip hop sound. They make sure to credit everybody as a writer who like played guitar or did certain things on the track. So I haven't met everyone that's listed there in person. And I don't dislike the way that they do that. I think it might be a little bit confusing to people who are like, man, that was a big, massive writing room. Um, but yeah, so that's the story behind that. I wrote that idea and then I was like, man, I'm struggling. So I FaceTimed Jonathan and we kind of hashed out the idea to like, I don't know, paint a picture of the gospel and salvation within a song surrounding the revelation of holy hands. And so that's what that write actually looked like.
you saw people who have regular collaborators, but then you have someone like Jonathan or your husband, your brothers, who you have these almost, it's more than just a professional relationship with these people.
Yeah.
So how do you switch from, I'm in, brother sister mode to we're kind of turning on writer brain, or like you're having a conversation with your husband and then now you're writing something together, or like your friend that you've known for a while in Jonathan and you're now swapping to writing?
It's actually that's not a hard transition to make because it's such a like quirky, spontaneous part of who we are. So like I said, I found my science book and wrote a song. You just kind of switch into gear and, for Jonathan, since a lot of people know who that is, I mean, I might just like shoot him a text and be like, hey, you got a second? I'm working on a really great song and I really need to hear your ideas, right? I'd love for you to hear and see if you get anything back. If he doesn't, then I work on it on my own or I text it to him. I have a couple other writers. One is Dewan Hill and Mitch Wong, who they're always at it. You see their names on stuff. Mitch is the guy. So I'll be like, Mitch, I'm done with this idea. Actually, this is the first time I ever did it was with Dewan and Mitch. I was like, I'm done with this idea. I think that you're the person that needs to add a verse and a bridge and I'll just send it lyrics and all, and he'll send it back. So yeah, I mean, there's no like switching to friend mode. I think the hard thing is making time to just spend time together and not do any music, like the first time I met Mitch, I went to another person's house and we all had dinner. His wife was there. We were at another family's house and then we played Uno afterwards. That was my first introduction to Mitch Wong.
And friends. Wow.
Yeah, and I would love to do that more often with the people I write with.
I was gonna say Uno can make or break friendships.
Oh.
Yeah.
Y'all play spicy Uno?
No, we play competitive. There's a lot of Natalie's friends who refuses to play Uno with me now. Like she would rather play any other game.
No, it's because you're brutal.
If it's +4, it's +4. What can I do about it?
Do you guys cheat?
No. I don't cheat.
He's very like good at winning. Let's just say that.
Oh, wow. How do you be good at winning? Well, that's because you guys have never played with me, but I digress. I will leave that alone.
Challenge
and let you. I'm actually just good at smack talk, but I suck.
I mean, it worked.
I'm really good at smack talk. Amazing at it.
I love that.
All right, you have 2 new songs that came out this year. One with John Batiste and the other that came out on the 1st of May. So can you tell us a little bit about the story behind Black Boy and then your latest song?
Yes, Black Boy, I wrote in 2020 because there was a lot going on in our world. And I began to see that Black women, we have within our culture and the diaspora of just Black as a whole, we have songs about us that are empowering to, brown skin and hair and all of that. But there's nothing empowering for Black men that says that there's room in the world for you to be vulnerable. There are shoulders for you to lean on, and that Black women love you and the world loves you, and we want to lift you up. And so that song actually just spilled out of my wounds in 2020 as I began to realize some healing that I needed to do, but also recognizing the wonderful Black men around me. And that is my father, both grandfathers on both sides of my family, my brothers, and just wanting to support them. And so I knew that no matter what race I married, that if I had a son, he would be Black because I would be in him. And so I wanted to write for my Black son as well. And now I have one. And my husband, I've got 2 Black boys. And so, yeah. So then I went into the studio with John Batiste in, was it July? And we wrote the bridge. And he produced it and he handled the song with care and conviction. And so I'm really thankful for that.
As a Black boy, thank you so much for the song.
Of course.
We've been listening to it and I'm like, yeah, like you said, just something about being allowed to be vulnerable and knowing that you are loved, especially coming from Black women as well. I think it's a beautiful song. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for saying that.
What was it like working with John?
Crazy.
He's another musical hero of mine, and I'm not. Do you know what? Even the music aside, every time I've seen him come up on my screen, it feels like he's got such an infectious energy about him.
Yeah.
Just like as a great person. If John didn't play piano or any music, I would want to hang out with him.
Yeah. You just want to be like, why are you so cool? How? Yeah, John Batiste, it does have an infectious personality. Super quirky and just everything that you see and feel, even from his voice when he talks, right? The way that he talks and expresses on camera, that's who he is in the studio, but also very kind and normal and approachable. And it never felt like, oh, you're the smaller artist and I'm doing you a favor. Never for 1 second did it ever feel like that. My parents were going to a show in Dallas and he was like, oh, let me get you tickets in or whatever. And I think I bought them because I wanted to support, but just the fact that, you know what I mean? They protect normalcy, it seems like, in their lives. And you can tell because when you interact with him as a person, he just felt very normal. It was really great. And then, of course, working with Dewan in the choir room. You guys know about the choir room, right? That was great. Yeah, just great.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. But really and truly, thank you so much for that song. I think it's an important song. It's very needed.
Thank you.
Very, very needed.
Thank you. You know, when my dad... Go ahead, sis.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying when my dad heard it for the first time, he told me it was hard for him to listen to because it was stirring up emotions. And he was like, I just was realizing that I forgot the other day he was at a hotel. He stepped out of his room, and as he's walking down, this woman sees him, grabs her child, and pulls him back in the room. And it made him feel like, why is the world afraid of us? And there could be a whole other narrative to why she snatched her son back into the room. but it's hard to read between the lines when there's so much smoke and truth surrounding the way that, the world does treat Black men. So anyway.
On that thought, I think I do want to say I grew up in a country just full of Black people. So I grew up in Zimbabwe, but then I moved to London, and I was just like, I had this conversation with Natalie's dad because he was born in London, and he was saying that like he realized he was Black because of how people were treating him as he was growing up in a country that was full of white people. And I didn't have that experience until I was 12 years old when I moved to a country that was like, oh, you're Black. And I was like, wait, what's happening?
Excuse me. Right.
So when you hear a song like that, that's it for me, almost like reset me back to that place of it's just normal to be yourself and to just be a human being, and you are loved for that, full
That's
stop.
good.
Nothing else on top of that. So yeah, it's it's on my list of like one of my favorite songs I've heard, especially like one of the best songs I've heard this year, definitely. So yeah, again, thank you.
Appreciate
thank
that.
you again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you.
Next question. Next song.
Sorry. No, it got really deep. So I was like, I don't move on now because, like, just like.
No, you're good.
So you also have an amazing song out, which recently came out this month. So yeah, can you talk to us about that song? What's the story behind it?
Yeah. So this song is called Know Your Name. I'm so excited about this song because I feel like everyone who worked to make it happen gave their all and their best, and it came together well. But this song actually explains the entirety and the full message of the album, which could be summed up also in one word, and that is posterity. And posterity is mentioned in scripture when speaking about the next generation. And I think we have to understand that we were someone's posterity a while ago. And the scripture says that one generation shall declare your glory to the next generation. So basically, I wrote an album just surrounding that idea. And I asked myself, what does posterity sound like in a room sonically? What does every generation sound like in a room sonically when we're congregationally sending up praises to God? And so that was the question. So Know Your Name kind of just answers that question. And yeah, so I'm like really excited about it because, and the line in the song, the big line is, every generation's going to know your name. And I think everyone has to take that challenge on and say, if it's up to me, I'm going to make sure that the next generation knows that they can call upon the name of the Lord.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, so everybody, if you're listening to this, straight after, go back and listen to Know Your Name.
Yes.
Who were the other collaborators with the song, if that's something that you can let us know?
Oh, yeah, I can tell. Writers Dia Viola, David Spencer, and Anthony, spelled Anthy. Have you guys heard of Anthony?
No, we haven't.
He's really great. He's up and coming. Yeah. So he's actually been writing on people's projects like Kiera and a lot of people. He's been writing on their projects. So actually, you guys should get him on your show. Because he's just like, now all of the artists that he's collaborated with they're in his videos and in his songs, because he's built relationships over the years. So really proud of him.
I guess that brings us to the last question, which you low-key just answered. But we ask this to all of our guests.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend that we speak to next? And which song of theirs would you want us to ask about?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say him, but
that's okay. You can say multiple. Sorry, there's no limit.
That was the warm-up artist for us to go on message.
Definitely. The reason why I thought about saying it when I was saying his name, but then I was like, I would butcher every name that I tried to mention of his song. I can't think of one. Because I just started consuming his music. Yeah. So actually, this is going to seem really biased, but I don't know if you guys know who my husband is, or if you've heard any of his music, I Am Sun.
Yeah, we've had.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of his music?
Yeah.
He's
on our
playlist.
playlist.
Oh, is he on your playlist?
Yeah.
He just has this like, and actually I wouldn't be saying nothing if I didn't like his music because that's how I grew up, just be honest. But he has this song called Slow Down, and it speaks to me in a world that is rushing me to be on time or early for everything, which causes me to question if I am late all the time. And I don't want to be in that mindset when it comes to my relationship with God. And so I actually have never asked him the story behind that song, but that's one of my favorite songs is Slow Down by I Am Sun music. And I think that's I think that would be a great artist for you guys to ask.
Yeah.
I want to ask, when did it come out?
Slow Down came out, I'd say maybe like a year or two ago. A year and a half ago. Yeah, Slow Down came out.
Before you guys got married, he was definitely making music, right?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So
cool.
if you're thinking of a song that touched your heart, you probably are thinking about Always With Me. Because that's the one that came out, the song for anxiety. That's the one that came out too before we were married as well. And you know what's so funny is I don't even know if you guys want the name of two artists, but I was going to say Coldplay. That's why I was like, is this somebody that you guys are going to interview on this show?
Listen, we're going to be like Dos Santos. So
yeah,
you guys
whether
know
they
Coldplay.
say yes or not.
Yeah.
Also,
she wants to know about Fix You. Can you let us know?
I do want to know about Fix You. That was my song.
Like, how did you guess?
It's the song.
Yeah, it is a song.
Well, Melvin Crispell just covered it, and it's going viral online, and you can hear. Go ahead.
There are songs that you listen to, and you're like, that is a gospel song.
It is.
It's like Miley Cyrus's The Climb. That's a gospel song.
Yes, that's true.
I can't lie. Someone said that about Lion King. He Lives in You. They're like, that's a gospel song.
Yeah, that's some songs.
Whoa.
I just yeah.
Mind blown.
And do you know what? Yeah, the reason why I went straight to Fix You is because we went to this. We went to this like conference that was being held by a group from Nashville. Actually, they came to the UK, and we went to the local church where they were singing some songs. And we walked in.
It's like a community project.
Yeah. The guy was leading worship, and his final song was "Fix You," and I was like, "Yeah."
You see what I'm saying?
But I was like, this makes so much sense. Why have I never thought?
The worst thing is, I didn't actually flinch because I was just like, yeah. And then I was like,
wait.
You said, wait a minute.
Like, huh? Okay. Well, how did we end up here? Like,
wait, was the group called Porter's Gate that came to London?
No, it wasn't Porter's Gate. It was The Objective. But they're from Nashville. But I do love Porter's Gate.
Because I'm coming with them to London in July.
Well, then we'll see you there.
We'll be there.
We all gotta hang. I'm serious. We all gotta hang because y'all like to laugh, and that's my type of carrying on.
Love that.
We're gonna come down to London. We'll bring the Uno.
Bring bring Uno, please.
Yeah.
Please.
We're winning. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, my sister's gonna correct me, like, if I'm right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Orlando, I Am Sun, released music. And my sister sent it me. It was like, this is beautiful. Love it. And then later on in life, she sent me like, wait, Doe and I Am Sun are together? Like, huh? What? And I think we just had a moment like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, so,
It's like
it was
two characters from your favorite shows, just me. And you're like, this.
Oh, that's so special.
And this is the second time it happened as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two other artists who we used to listen to separately, and then we're like,
wow, and
what is happening? And they found each other.
And then we actually interviewed one of them, and we were just letting her know, like, you know, we got married, and we were like, wait, you listen to them? I listen to them. They're married now?
Honestly,
huh?
That's crazy. Y'all got a
Very,
little
very
something
cool.
prophetic going on. Who y'all listen to right now? I want to know. So we can
Yeah, let's get up the
give me the
playlist.
tea. Give me the tea so we can converge when
Who's
it
coming
happens
next?
again.
when
Right.
we're in London playing Uno, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do it on record, guys. Can't be on
Exactly.
record.
Yeah.
Just in case I'm wrong, innit?
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna reach out to Coldplay, Chris Martin. We're gonna reach out
Yes.
to you.
Please. Okay.
Anthony.
Yes.
And I Am Sun. But what we're gonna do with I Am Sun, we're gonna ask you when we finish the interview, just be like, honey, there's some people who are gonna message you. Just be nice to them.
They're not crazy.
They're
Be
not crazy.
kind.
They're our friends now. Yeah, be kind.
Yeah.
So we're definitely gonna reach out to him and ask him about the songs that you
Slow down.
yeah, slow down.
Yeah.
Before we finish the interview, is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with? Either like concerts that are coming up here in the UK or in the US, an album coming out, anything like that?
You know what? I'm glad you said that because I was about to go deep and be like, well, I just feel led to encourage you guys. Let me give
you can
guys...
preach too. You can preach too.
The preacher comes after. Yeah.
Okay, June 12th and 13th, we're going to be in London, UK. And actually I'll be there with Porter's Gate, but if you guys want to cook something else up, we could be there longer and come, I don't know, go visit a church or something. We've got time after that date.
I was going to
So
say,
you
how
guys
long
let
are you
us know.
here for? Because we have an a cappella concert on the 20th of June
Nice.
that we're planning with my friend.
Okay.
And we're like, there's the Southern African groups that Tina was talking about. Yeah, they'll be there performing. So, I mean, if you're still around.
I mean, we could be around if there's enough to do. We could stay for a whole week, but yeah, you guys let us know. We can figure something out.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, Daily Bread by Porter's Gate is one of my favorite songs.
How does that one go? I'm trying to remember.
I've been looking at the lilies, and they're dressed up to the nines. To dimes. Oh, it's not champagne and truffles, but you've got to get. Every day has got its struggles, but I've got my daily bread.
Yeah.
Where is it? So I do these things. I can't find it now, but
That's okay. I'm going to look it up.
I live by my bullet journal.
Sweet. Nice.
And when I'm on the train, so I travel to work. I work in London, which is like 2 hours away. And when I'm on the train, I will listen to a gospel song and I'll do like a song breakdown and look at all the scriptures and stuff that's in it, which is part of the inspiration behind this podcast.
Yeah, it might be in your other book.
I think it might be in the
That's
other
awesome.
book. And that was one of the songs that I was just like, I just need to sit down and like, because it was so rich and there was so much scripture in it.
Wow.
But yeah.
Now I feel bad that I ain't giving y'all no scriptures.
You did actually. You gave us scripture.
You did. You gave us scriptures.
Good.
Do you have any thing to preach to us?
No.
A message?
No, I don't. I'm going to leave it alone. I think I just know where we're at in our world, and I want people to be encouraged to stay in the fight, but to not do it alone. We're not meant to be isolated in anything. We're meant to operate within and planted in community. So I just pray that everyone is, doing the work to search for and heal within community, good community.
Thank you so much. And we're also taking away the task that you've given us.
Yes.
To all songwriters.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a pen or a pencil and just write.
Yeah.
And there's someone else that also tasked, I think it was Ryan Shelley.
Yeah.
That said, basically just...
Right.
Yeah, just write.
Yeah.
Every day or every week, just try. Whether it's a song, poem, anything, just write. Because you don't know what's going to come from it. So...
Yeah.
For sure.
Found it. I found it. I did.
There it is. Yeah,
there it is. There it is. Absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah.
That's all right.
I
I feel like we could go on for the longest time.
But you have a family
in
to
London.
yeah, you have yeah. In London. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in
Bye,
and
guys.
for watching this episode. There will be more episodes next. We might have I Am Son next. We might have Paul Skate. You never know. We might have Chris Martin on next. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next
And
one.
also shout out to Stayler Apparel.
Yeah,
My
of
sister.
course.
Love you.
Yeah.